Thursday, May 28th, 2015 a.m. On my way to work. Not sure what this fool is doing. And some crappy drivers. On the road. I want to talk about this subject of how often do we say in life, okay, well, it's done, time to move on with situations, you know? Okay, this situation has come full circle, and I learned my lessons, and I did my thing, and it's done. Or isn't it true that more often what we do is we hold on to something, we squeeze it dry until it's something ugly, you know? But I think nature teaches us that is the way to be, though. I hope I can make this light. Man, this area is such a bitch since they changed the roads. God damn. Get out of the way. Ugh. God, don't step out on the road. What are you going so super slow for? Okay. Man, I like the bohemian look, but whoo! Wow. She dressed up her bohemian. To each his own. It makes her happy, then go on with your bad self. Anyway, nature does teach us, you know? We see all these beautiful things around us in nature, and what of them lasts forever in itself, you know? Even the frickin' sunrise or sunset. Like, have you ever seen a beautiful sunset? And you're like, oh man, this is beautiful. Look at the color. Look at this. You run inside to get your camera. Run outside like, what the fuck? Where'd it go? You know? Just everything. You know? And it's all trying to show us. Trying to teach us that no thing is meant to last forever. No thing that we have, that we can perceive with our five senses, that's not how, that's just not how it is. Right? Man, got hot up in this bed. Yeah. And that includes the different situations in our lives, you know? Especially is this so true in relationships. You know, you've met up with someone and you've done your thing and you've had your ups and downs and you've learned, you've grown, and you shared. And, you know, it's so romantic and a notion to last forever and ever and ever. But people change, right? We all change. And if we don't change, that's not a good sign. But if you're doing it decently, you've changed somewhat, and so is the other person. And sometimes you change together, no, that's not true. Sometimes you change and complement each other still, and work well together still, and learn together still. And sometimes you change and you start to actually repel one another, or whatever, it just isn't anymore. What was isn't. And when you try to force something, it doesn't work. It just doesn't. I'm thinking about women, and men now too, right? Men are doing it. We get old. We're growing older. I'm looking at my eyelids. I'm like, oh shit. Starting to droop a little. It's part of the process though, but, a little bit of nip and tuck and this and that a little bit maybe might not be so bad. But have you ever seen these people who are like forcing it not to happen? Like every little line, every little wrinkle, every little thing. And what do they look like when they've tried to stop nature from doing what it does? Whoo! We saw this one woman, poor thing. She's like holding on so tight, and she must have been at least in her 70s. And I'm not making fun. I'm just mentioning because it pertains to what I'm talking about. Man, her face looked like somebody had got like a skeleton and overlaid it with some kind of thin veneer and stretched that motherfucker out in every direction across that skeleton face. And it was pretty scary. And then she piled up a bunch of makeup on top of it and stuff, and I feel bad. I'm not making fun at all. I feel bad because we're so out of touch with the process of life and of nature. We don't appreciate we're part of nature. And, but anyway, we have to, if we want to make it easy on ourselves in the long run, and it is like a run, in the long run or the long walk, whatever, we make it easy on ourselves, the less baggage we're carrying. Just have to let it go. Let it go, let it go. When it's time to let it go, let it go. But so no, you don't very often hear people saying, well, this job has run its course, and it did what it did when it did it, and it worked for a while, and that's the end of that one, and move on. Or this relationship, or this neighborhood, or this whatever it is, this hobby, I don't know, whatever it is. I'm not going to sit here for an hour and a half and try to think of all the different situations, but I'm sure no one would like that. But when it's done, it's done. Again, going back to what we talked about yesterday, you just trust that there's more good to come. You just trust it without clenching with all of your might onto something, even after it's turned sour, still trying to turn it back into something else and being miserable the whole time, because deep inside it's not what it was anymore. But but no, you have to know that you have to have that faith that upcoming is more fantastic, wonderful, magical, glorious stuff. And yes, some bumps too. That's part of the experience. Otherwise, you straight line, right? So we understand that. You know? Yeah. Life will have its, quote, challenges. Challenges aren't bad. They're bad when you try to control stuff. So I think it's because it's kind of cloudy. I think when it's overcast, it affects the radio stations. Or somebody said that or something like that. I like Steve Harvey. Well, I like his show. I don't know enough about him to make that statement.
Hey ladies, you know the saying, dance like nobody's watching?
Oh, he's doing but I don't like when he does this. He's doing an ad. And that's part of it, you know. I feel like, man, you sell out. You're selling out. Fuck State Farm. I shouldn't say that. Just kidding. Don't fuck State Farm. But, it's like, just do your thing. Just do your thing. But, you know, a little change here, a little change there. Doesn't seem. It seems to be harmless in itself. But to me, it's just like, I don't know. Idea of, I don't know. I'm so turned off by the idea of money now. It's so ridiculous. Like, okay, well, good luck in life. Having a bad taste in your mouth, kid, for money. How's that going to work? I don't know. I don't know how it's going to work. I've been thinking about that lately. I think back in the olden days. Yeah, olden days. They used to, trade. Barter. Is that what it is? Barter? Like, okay, I'll do this, I'll perform this service for you. I'll, complete this task for you, and then in return, you give me a bag of peanuts, or whatever. Didn't they have that in, or was that different? I'm thinking of To Kill a Mockingbird. I can't remember what it was. I remember Atticus and some guy, and they gave him like a bag of potatoes or something, and then Scout's like, I can't remember how it worked, but anyway, it made me think of that. I should watch that movie again. Such a good movie. But anyway, who knows? I mean, because some of the things that I want to do with my life, the law will not allow me to receive monetary compensation without them getting their hands in it somehow. But I understand about taxes, and I understand about, you know, but it's gotten ridiculous, okay? It's gotten ridiculous. My taxes are not just going toward the paving of the roads now. I'm paying for all the military shit and whatnot, you know? No, that's not what it's all about. No. You know, I feel really, like, icky about it. That's just me. I'm not telling anybody else how to be. You know? You do your own thing. That's the whole point. Please don't copycat anything I do. Not that anybody would, but then you're missing the whole freaking point. Anyway, I'm just like, okay, yeah, I will do this thing for you, and then that'll be 16 rolls of toilet paper, please, thank you. Or that will be whatever items that I use. Maybe that's what it would be, you know? I don't know. This is a really, really out there idea. But I'm thinking about it, because I'm like, shit, you know, you got us locked in a fucking corner here. We ain't got no choice but to go out and bust our asses at jobs we hate, and yada, 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 just so, what? You can do your shit that has nothing to do with my experience in this existence right now. The stuff you're doing, I'm paying for. That's how I feel. gotten way off the subject that I started with. I should have started a new recording. Anyway, that's how I feel. And you can't apologize, and you shouldn't apologize for how you feel, because that's a natural thing, how you feel inside yourself. Not the knee-jerk reaction of, oh man, he stepped to me, I'm gonna punch him in the mouth kind of thing. No, that's your freaking ego and stupid pride and stuff. But don't apologize for how you feel inside yourself. Those are important clues to help you to stay and, to move, not stay, to move in the flow, So, and sometimes it comes up that, ooh, that little tiny school bus did an illegal U-turn. You go, mister. Wow. Anyway, lost my train of thought. I gotta stop anyway. This is a long recording. But, you just do you. We've gotten so far away from living naturally. Plus, I did this whole thing as a kind of a pep talk for myself because, what it is, as much as I love Steve, I'm not listening right now, and I'll turn that off, it's just distracting. Life is a process of, we're going to say expansion, because that's a good word to communicate the idea of it, and something that we can conceive in our imagination, expanding. But what it is, in big bits or little bits, or big chunks, what happens is something is presented to you, and it's like, okay, so to move forward, and that means it could be a big leap, which is something that I just recently performed, I guess, I don't know, or it could be little bits, but whatever they are, it's a continuous movement. And so I just recently jumped from here, and I jumped up, and I was 700 miles away from where I jumped from. So I'm looking, kind of trying to keep myself from looking back over that and saying, what the fuck? And just saying, that was necessary, because you need to align yourself with what's upcoming, and to do that, you needed to make that big old leap. So just kind of, it's not me though, it's something in me that's encouraging me, supporting me through this part of the whole process, this chunk of the process. I don't even like the word chunk, but it communicates that idea of not a tiny bit, but a big bit. Anyway, have a good day. I'm going to try to. It's almost 20 minutes here, and I apologize that I didn't divide that up into 5 different recordings, which I should have done. Anyway, much love. Bye-bye.